In recent years, tensions have been mounting in the South China Sea, with multiple countries vying for control over its strategic waters. Amidst this backdrop, Japan has made a bold decision to support the Philippines in its territorial dispute with China. Japan, a key ally of the Philippines, has dispatched warships to assist in safeguarding the region's maritime security. Japan's decision to send warships to the South China Sea reflects its commitment to upholding international law and ensuring freedom of navigation in the region. By supporting the Philippines, Japan aims to counter China's assertive actions and preserve regional stability. The South China Sea is a hotly contested area, with multiple countries laying claim to its waters and islands. China's aggressive expansionism has raised concerns among its neighbors, prompting countries like Japan to intervene. The Japan International Cooperation Agency is preparing a 10-year maritime security support plan for 4 ASEAN nations: Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Vietnam, to boost security in the South China Sea, according to a media report. The 4 countries are regarded as Tokyo's top priorities in terms of security, public broadcaster NHK said, adding that the move is designed to counter China's growing assertiveness in the disputed waters in the region. The agency, known as JICA, is expected to unveil a detailed plan by March 2025. The support plan will see Japan providing drones, radar systems, and patrol boats, as well as other capacity-building measures to each of the 4 countries, according to NHK. Japanese officials and specialists are believed to have conducted studies and on-site surveys last month in the Philippines and Indonesia. They are scheduled for April in Malaysia and Vietnam. A JICA delegation led by Director General Hiroshi Tanaka visited Manila in January to identify maritime security cooperation projects in the country. During the visit of Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida to the Philippines in November last year, Manila and Tokyo signed an agreement on Japan's grant of coastal surveillance radars to the Philippines worth 600 million yen, $4 million. Japan will continue to invest in helping build capacities in Southeast Asian countries through the provision of vessels, capabilities, and training. Stephen Nagy, professor at the International Christian University, ICU, in Tokyo, told Radio Free Asia, "Expect more in the future as Japan's defense-oriented self-defense approach and focus on the U.S.-Japan alliance means that Tokyo thinks it's better to enhance the capabilities of each Southeast Asian states individually so they can have a stronger position in the South China Sea," said Nagy, who also serves as the Director of Policy Studies at the Yokosuka Council of Asia-Pacific Studies. In December 2023, ASEAN and Japan held a special summit to commemorate 50 years of friendship and bilateral cooperation. A major part of the event was dedicated to cooperation in maritime security. On the sidelines of the summit, Kishida and his Malaysian counterpart, Anwar Ibrahim, signed a security assistance agreement worth 400 million yen, $2.6 million, through which Tokyo will provide maritime equipment and rescue boats to Kuala Lumpur. Malaysia-Japan bilateral relations were also upgraded to comprehensive strategic partnership, the highest level of cooperation. Separately, Japan and Indonesia also signed notes for the provision of a large Japan-built patrol vessel of up to 9.05 billion yen, $60.2 million, for the Indonesian Coast Guard. Japan and Vietnam also elevated their bilateral relationship to a comprehensive strategic partnership last year. Before that, in 2020, Tokyo agreed to a $348 million loan agreement for Vietnam to build 6 maritime patrol vessels. Japan, who is by far the most trusted partner of many ASEAN member states, is stepping up and playing a security role in the region, said Hong Lethu, Asia Deputy Director at the International Crisis Group. Japan has territorial disputes with China over the sovereignty of the Senkaku Islands, known as Diaoyu by the Chinese in the East China Sea. China and 4 ASEAN countries, Brunei, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Vietnam, hold contesting claims over parts of the South China Sea, but Beijing's claim is by far the most expansive. A UN tribunal in 2016 ruled against most of China's claims in the South China Sea, but Beijing refused to accept the verdict. Japan plans to provide long-term support to maritime authorities in the Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Vietnam. The move is aimed at countering China's growing assertiveness in the South China Sea. NHK has learned that the Japan International Cooperation Agency will develop a 10-year plan to support the four nations, which the government regards as top priorities in terms of security. On-site surveys were conducted last month in the Philippines and Indonesia. Similar activities are scheduled for around April in Malaysia and Vietnam. Japanese officials will discuss the provision of drones, radar systems, and patrol boats with each country, and also the development of human resources. China claims the rights to control almost all of the South China Sea. Beijing enacted a law allowing the Chinese Coast Guard to use force in the region 3 years ago, and other countries are on high alert. An expert on China at the Japanese Defense Ministry's National Institute for Defense Studies, Ida Masafumi, says boosting the four nations' maritime security capabilities will greatly help them to counter China. Diplomatic efforts to resolve the dispute have so far been futile, leading to increased militarization and tension in the region. Japan's show of solidarity with the Philippines sends a strong message to China and underscores the importance of collective action in addressing regional challenges. The deployment of Japanese warships not only enhances the Philippines' maritime capabilities, but also serves as a deterrent against any potential aggression from China. It represents a significant escalation in Japan's involvement in regional security affairs. We are grateful for Japan's support in our efforts to protect our sovereignty and uphold the rule of law in the South China Sea. This partnership demonstrates the strength of our alliance and our shared commitment to peace and stability in the region. As tensions continue to simmer in the South China Sea, Japan's assistance to the Philippines marks a pivotal moment in the ongoing territorial dispute. Whether this collaborative effort will lead to a peaceful resolution or further escalate the conflict remains to be seen. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on global affairs. Until next time, stay informed and stay safe.